We're with Fujifilm for the launch of its latest medium format mirrorless camera, the GFX50S 2. This is designed for professional and enthusiast photographers who demand the image quality that's provided by medium format, but don't want to give up any of the latest features, such as in-body image stabilization and eye detection autofocus. So let's take a closer look. The GFX50S 2 employs the same SLR style body design as the superb 102 megapixel GFX100S. But with a lower resolution 50 megapixel sensor on board, it's considerably less expensive. In effect, it'll replace the flat-bodied GFX50R in Fujifilm's range. The body is about the same size and shape as a high-end full-frame DSLR, but the larger sensor promises even better image quality. It offers a standard sensitivity range up to ISO 12800 and can shoot at 3 frames per second. You also get the benefit of Fujifilm's industry-leading colour science, with a full set of film simulation modes that provide a wide variety of really attractive colour looks for your images. The body is built for pro use, with magnesium alloy construction and extensive weather sealing. The GFX50S 2 has all the same design features that made the GFX100S one of our favourite cameras of the year so far, including a large, high-resolution electronic viewfinder. The rear screen tilts in 3 directions, which allows high and low angle shooting in both portrait and landscape orientation, and it's also touch sensitive for changing camera settings. The body includes 5-axis image stabilization that promises up to 6.5 stops of shake reduction, and this helps you get sharp pictures handheld so you don't necessarily have to use a tripod all the time. 2 UHS-2 SD card slots are available for recording images. As with the previous 50 megapixel GFX models, the sensor doesn't include phase detection pixels, which means autofocus won't be as quick as the GFX100S. But Fujifilm says that, thanks to an updated image processor, it should at least be quicker than the older GFX50S and R models. Even so, this is unlikely to be the best choice for moving subjects. Also like the previous 50 megapixel GFX models, video is limited to full HD recording. But if you're contemplating buying medium format, chances are you'd be much more interested in stills photography than video anyway. As usual, both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth are built in for connecting to your smartphone, allowing image sharing and remote control of the camera. In terms of controls, the camera behaves much like a conventional DSLR, with electronic dials under your finger and thumb, a mode dial on the top right, and a joystick for positioning the focus point. There's also a large status panel on top that shows all your exposure settings at a glance. Unfortunately, Fujifilm has persisted with the same tiny, awkwardly placed exposure compensation button as GFX100S. But by changing a couple of menu settings, you can move this onto the rear dial, which makes the camera much nicer to use. Fujifilm has also launched a new kit zoom, the GF35-70mm f4.5 to 5.6 WR, which equates to a 28 to 56mm equivalent range. This lens has a retracting design to take up less space in your bag, and is also the first GF lens with an out aperture ring. Instead, you set the aperture using the camera's front dial, and then click it inwards to set the ISO. So how about the price? Well, the great news is that the GFX50S 2 will cost just £3,500 body only, or £3,900 with a new 35-70mm lens, and this makes it really competitive with the latest high-end mirrorless cameras, such as the Sony Alpha 7R IV. The lens on its own will also only cost £850. Let us know what you think about the camera in our comments, and look out for our full review coming up on amateurphotographer.com.